Yeah, right, guys, welcome to my channel. This is Crypto Tight, the inflation avoider, and talking about avoiding inflation, this is about the UK government, Bank of England, and stablecoins. You might have heard that we in the UK are going to be possibly affected. Now, it could happen because the banks have a lot of power. The Bank of England has a lot of power. And they're going to be limiting how many stable coins a person can own. Now, that's either also affects businesses. So what the figures are 20,000 maximum that you can hold, £20,000 maximum that you can hold in stable coins, and for businesses it's 10 million. That has clearly pissed off wealthy people in this country as well, because a certain Nigel Farage, now I won't go into politics on this channel, a certain Nigel Farage is kicking off about the Bank of England. And you know, when wealthy elites are kicking off about the Bank of England and complaining about things, that they're very much in crypto as well and understand how it works. So what does it mean? Let's say you've got alt season, top of alt season, you decide to take profits, you rotate that into stable coins. Now, some stable coins, like USDG for example, have 4.75% interest. Now, if you were to just rotate that money into your bank, you would get about 1% interest. Now, inflation runs at approximately 2%, 2.5%, and that would mean, just by saving your money in the bank, which is what you're taught to do at school, save your money in the bank, because the teachers really shit things when it comes to what to do with your money in your career, because in our normal schools we're just meant to be wage slaves and work for big businesses, not get rich ourselves, because they don't want that in this country. And this move by the Bank of England to influence the government has absolutely proved that point, because this is so transparent. You put your money in your bank, you're going to get about 1% interest on that, which means you're actually losing 1 to 1.5% every year putting your money in those banks. So instead of competing and saying, fuck, we need to offer about 5% interest if you're going to put our money in, if we are going to put your money in the bank, they don't want that. They don't want to compete. So what they do is bother the government and force the government to make laws to prevent us buying crypto. Obviously they'll tell us it's all for our own good, because that's what they always do. That's how they dress it up. They don't tell you not to that you could lose all your money by gambling on a horse, do they? Fuck, they just say when the fun stops, stop, with fun in big capital letters, so that's the main word you catch. But when it comes to crypto, it is you could lose all your money investing in crypto. But it seems wealthy people are investing in crypto too. So why is it that they want to prevent us from doing it? Instead of the banks going, we'll put our interest that you get for putting your money in the bank with us to a competitive 5%, they just want to outlaw you having more than a certain amount of crypto. Now, I'm not sure how the fuck they're going to enforce that, because that will be interesting, because all you're going to do is force people more and more underground in this country, because crypto's already, most of it's decentralized anyway, and these ways of doing it, that's a problem for governments with crypto. So all you're doing now is forcing people to go, yeah, I'm going to have to start now taking it really seriously, me squirreling away money, because you can go fuck yourself if you think that I'm staying poor all my life. But this way what they're doing is trying to make it 20 grand, which will be worth, which is fuck all really in the scheme of things. It's not going to buy you, it's not going to change your life, it's not going to buy you anything, you know, major. Get you a deposit, maybe get you a deposit on a house, but that's about it. Yep. So they want to force you to put your money in the bank. That's what it is, because we'll move on to stable coins when we're storing our money, and we're not. And if we're storing it in stable coins, We are not putting it in the bank, and that means the bank aren't getting more money to be able to make more money with. They're losing money because people prefer to keep it in crypto, and that is because the banks have been fucking robbing us for so long. We don't rob banks, banks rob us. And it is absolutely terrifying to think that the government would actually do this. And it's not just about it being Labour, it would happen under any government, and I'm not sure reform would be any different, to be honest, and they'll find other ways of taking money off the poor anyway. But what I am saying is this country is very much set up so the poor stay poor. They do not want you getting rich, and if you ever wanted proof of it, if this comes into law, this is proof of it. It's not for your good, even though they'll pretend it is, but still they want you to gamble on horses and shit like that and flood you with adverts for gambling on this, gambling on that. Children now think it's normal to just gamble on football when they go to football matches. You know, they're happy for you to gamble your money away, but they're not happy for you to invest it, and they want you to put it in the bank. So I'm not sure what they're going to do to enforce it, how they're going to enforce it, but all that's going to happen is people are just going to go fuck you and start finding ways of protecting their money and squirreling it away so the government doesn't even know about it. So they'll be losing out because people who would have been honest about it and paid capital gains tax will start going, well, no, actually, they're trying to outlaw me having more than just a little bit of stablecoin. And that's when it pushes people underground. So the government might want to think very, 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 very carefully before pandering to the Bank of England, because that is just a fucking cash grab by the Bank of England. You know, any other business, it's supposed to be, you're supposed to change your strategy, your business strategy, if you're not making as much money. But Bank of England, they can dictate what you can have and how you can, you know what I mean, dictate that you put money in the bank basically by the back door. And that should give you make you feel less confident in fiat currency. Once that starts happening, I am just fucking going to rarely have any fiat currency. It's only for spending in the street as far as I'm concerned, because I'm going to have absolutely zero trust in it, and I'm not going to have any trust in a government that's willing to do that. It's a bad power grab. It is a fucking disgrace what's happening in this country. Other countries are embracing crypto, but this country, throughout history, has always wanted to keep the poor as possible. This is not land of opportunity in the UK. This is where people are led to believe that the government does the right thing, yet nobody trusts them. This is absolutely shocking, and that is all I can say really. Let me know what your plans are. What are you going to do if the government, I mean, don't give me your full plan, because you're going to need to keep that plan to yourself pretty much, but let me know in the comments what you think of what the Bank of England want and why, and what you will find yourself doing should that come into law, because fuck off, you're not telling me how much stablecoin I can have. That is taking the piss. Anyway, if you agree with me, hit the like button and do take a moment to subscribe, because as a tiny channel I need all the subscribers I can get. It all helps, it really makes a difference. And I will catch you later guys with that little thought. Bye bye.